There was a bonus conversation that, well, actually before bonus conversation, 3 to 6 months out of the year, you're discussing your bonuses on Wall Street. I mean, the higher you get, the more time you spend discussing your bonus. Like actual physical time. And the more time you spend in meetings, the less time you spend actually with clients. And this was something that I found at Goldman, actually, as I was there. I was told by mentors, by people senior to me, that I should spend more time internally. I should be doing more internal politics. I shouldn't be out with clients, which was something I actually liked. I enjoyed that sort of interaction. And when I was at Bear, I was working on showing clients the downside. I was big on downside. I think I was just cynical in general. As if you buy at the time these AA asset-backed securities and you are a central bank, this is what could happen. And that wasn't something that there was a lot of. At Goldman when I got there, or certainly as much attention to those sorts of details. And I had no interest in spending a lot of time talking about bonuses and going to off-site meetings and talking about the culture of Goldman or really anywhere else. I thought that was very confining and very oppressive and wasn't particularly pleasant for me personally, and then also wasn't fair in general. There was a lot of stuff, particularly after 9/11, during Enron, during WorldCom. It had just become so seedy that I literally just walked out. I mean, I say this in my first book. I mean, I know to my old boss at Goldman, I know what I need to do to continue to be successful here. I just have zero interest in doing it, and I didn't. And I enjoy being a writer. There's obviously nothing like the same scale of money, so at all, and that's fine, and it's actually much more rewarding, and I feel like it's. I mean, honestly, I will spend more time writing an article and caring about what comes out than I ever spent writing, a research document or whatever inside, because it's not really yours. It's not really your opinion. You're not really allowed to have an opinion. And as a journalist, you can. Not everybody agrees with it. Some people say nasty things about some stuff I say, and that's fine. And some people are supportive, but it's more real to me. Sorry, that's my confessional. Yeah.
Hi. One name that hasn't come up in this discussion is Obama and his leadership. And it seems to me that he's failed miserably up to now in terms of this.
Okay.
Because I think if you,
I get where you're going.
Yeah, right.
Okay. One more question, actually, which just the lady here, because she's had her.
It's very mysterious to me why the stock market is up by 50%, and I would like you to comment, because it seems to me that we're just buying into another bubble and more wishful thinking, and we want it to end. So we're believing with our money. What do you think about that?
Okay, those are two good questions. Obama has been predictably disappointing in terms of financial reform, and for a lot of reasons. I think, first of all, he has a lot of, and I know this is kind of a common thing, but he does have a lot of the same people who were involved either in deregulation back in the day, say Larry Summers, who was at the signing ceremony, actually introduced Graham-Leach-Bliley Act, which repealed Glass-Steagall and allowed deregulation, to Tim Geithner, who was head of the New York Fed, which was in partnership with the Federal Reserve, really the bank, the closest bank to Wall Street in terms of a lot of the money that was given out and the subsidies that were provided. And so you have the sort of same set of philosophies. He does have Paul Volcker, who was vocal in 1987, and along the way on how this would all end, and is still. And I was actually really disappointed that Volcker spoke up again last week, and nobody got him on Meet the Press and everywhere else. I mean, I don't remember what was on Meet the Press, but it wasn't him. Was she really? I must have turned it off by then. But so he hasn't gotten that. His speech at Federal Hall was really, really disappointing. And what is odd is that there was all this talk in Wall Street offices afterwards about how he might actually do something. But the CEOs knew he wasn't going to do anything because none of them showed up. It was all like the number 2 guy and the number 3 guy. None of the CEOs were actually there, and so that gives you kind of a clue as to what, whether they're particularly worried, which goes back to the fact that he's not really doing anything. And it's very disappointing. He had the public support, and even those of us who were cynical about where that would lead gave it, or many of us gave it, or many of us at least assume that a leader will try not to go down the same route as another catastrophe, which brings me to your point, which is that now, yes, the stock market has risen by more in a shorter period of time than ever. And that, on the back of trillions of dollars worth of funds into the financial institutions and into the financial markets. And again, we don't know where the toxic, there's so much stuff we don't know about, and yet there's a philosophy, there is a mentality that when things get bad, there will be government support. We don't have that, but the banking system has that, or at least the larger banks have that. And that's been part of what has driven the markets up. A lot of the values of, in the Dow come from financial institutions or other types of big corporate institutions that have